go.
Alright, what's up everyone? This is NinjaDeathStrike bringing you another TCGO battle. And my opponent this time is Blue Trainer. So I'm using my revised Mew box deck. I changed a couple of the cards around a little bit, got some better ones, and so my opponent doesn't draw any basics the first hand. I get a look at his deck and I see that he's running water. Not sure exactly what kind yet, but I'll find out here in a second. It lets me draw a free card, which is nice since you didn't get any basics, and I get to call the coin flip. I'm going to go for tails, because I always go for tails, and there we go. I get it, so I get to go first, which is a huge advantage. Very nice. Unfortunately, I don't get a Mew to start off with, so I have to lead with an Oddish. I'm going to go ahead and put a grass energy on and try to use Find a Friend, which works. So that's great. I have that Gloom there, so I'm going to go ahead and pull Vileplume, and that should let me get Vileplume on the field by the third turn, which will be fantastic because that will initiate the trainer lock and my opponent won't be able to use any items. Unfortunately, I can't pull it off first turn. He goes for the Great Ball, pulls that Cleffa. So that's going to hit the bench. It's going to give him the ability to refresh his hand whenever he wants to. So that's not going to be fantastic. And he's going to go ahead and Professor Oak, get some more cards. And now looking at his starter, I see Buzel there. So I'm thinking this might be a Blast Zell deck. That's a deck that relies on Blastoise and Float Cell. It's going to turn out that's going to be the case. So you're going to get to see exactly how that style of deck works here in a little bit, because he actually manages to pull it off quite well. And he's going to Pokeball here, flip the head. So that trainer lock would have been a really nice first turn since he used 3 or 4 items on his very first turn. But unfortunately, I'm going to be a little bit slow in getting it up, and he's already going to have a pretty big advantage by that time. So he's going to switch out, go to his Cleffa and Eek, which lets him draw a new hand. And Cleffa's going to take a nap. I can't hurt it while it's asleep, but that's alright because I don't intend to hurt it anyhow. And luckily for me, I top deck a Mew, so I'm going to go ahead and put a Psychic Energy on it. Retreat my Oddish to get Mew out there in the active spot and see off. And put Grimer out into the Lost Zone. That's my standard opening. Being able to Sludge Drag is really, really helpful with messing up your opponent's plan. So I want the ability to do that before anything else. And I'm hoping maybe I can get one of those basics back there on his bench out here and take it out before it gets a chance to evolve. So I'm going to end my turn. He's going to play Professor Elm, pull Float Cell. So I'm not going to get to take out Buzel quickly. He's going to get the chance to evolve it. And Float Cell's Pokepower Water Acceleration lets you add 1 extra water energy to Float Cell per turn. So you can attach a normal energy and then also play a water energy on Float Cell. So that's kind of the idea behind the deck, is to up your energy output with Float Cell and then attack with Blastoise. So I'm going to go ahead and Juniper here. I don't have a lot of cards I want to keep. I could really use 7 more. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll pull another Mew, but no more energy, which is unfortunate. And I believe I'm just going to get Float Cell out now, since if it's affected by a special condition, it can't use its Pokepower, so that is going to prevent him from playing extra energies. But unfortunately, Floatzel has a free retreat cost, so he's going to be able to call it right from his bench and put it right. I'm sorry, he's going to be able to put it right back on his bench and just get rid of the confusion. So I believe that's what he's going to do here after he evolves Golduck. Well, first he's going to use What's-Her-Face and draw 6 cards. Blanca or Bianca, or I don't know, whatever her name is. So that lets him get 6 cards. Now he's going to think about what he wants to do. This guy spent a lot of time just sitting around. I actually cut out some huge chunks of this video of him just doing nothing. But I might have missed a few, so there's a big dead spot. That's why. He does use that Pokepower, so he gets to put 2 water energies this turn, and then he's going to Eek again. draw a new hand to 5, and Clef is going to go back to sleep, meaning that it can't take damage. But it wakes up, so I will be able to hurt it this turn if I want to. I believe, however, that I'm going to pull something else out into the active position. I'm going to copycat first. I don't have anything in my hand that is going to help me. And I finally pull some energy. I get my third Mew as well. I'll probably keep that in my hand for now. And I'm going to keep those rainbow energies just in case I need them, especially if I can get Roserade out. I'll be able to use that to get some confusion and poison on his active if I need it later. So I'm going to put the grass energy on Mew so that I'll be able to use Jump Left's attacks if I end up getting it out there. And then I'm going to Sludge Drag Squirtle because I know now that the goal of this deck is to get Blastoise out, and I'm just hoping that I can take out the Squirtle before he gets a chance to evolve it. That's going to save me a lot of problems later. Unfortunately, he has another Professor Elm, so he's going to use that to pull his Wartortle, and then he's going to evolve Squirtle right away. And that's going to get rid of the confusion and the poison. And since he's in the active position, I can't use Sludge Drag to add those back on, so I'm going to have to do something else this turn. Take a minute, think about using Juniper, but I don't want to lose those energies, so I'm going to go ahead and put a Rainbow on Mew. And now I'm going to see off. I believe I'm going to go for Pidgeot. Yeah, I'm going to put Pidgeot over there in the Lost Zone. I could have gone with Jumpluff, but I wanted the ability, the Headwind attack. I thought that it might be helpful, and it is going to prove to be pretty handy in a little bit, because he's going to refresh his hand again, draw Blastoise, and evolve it. And so now he's got 2 energy, one on Psyduck, one on Golduck, one on Floatzel. He adds one onto Blastoise, and then thanks to Floatzel's ability, he's going to be able to play another. And now, because of Blastoise Pokepower, it lets him pull as many water energies on the field as he wants to himself. So he's going to be able to move all 3 of those energies rather on Golduck and Floatzel to himself, and then use his Hydro Cannon attack or whatever it is to do 100 damage to any one of my Pokemon. So I believe he's going to take out one of my Mews. I think my active one. Yeah, so there he uses his Pokepower. Now he's got 4 energies on Blastoise. He's going to think about who he wants to attack. 2 of the energies go back to the hand in order to use the attack, but the beauty of this deck is that with Floatzel, you can add 2 energies per turn anyhow, so you actually have the ability to hit for 100 damage every turn, because you can keep re-adding those energies. So I'm going to send Mew out, and then I'm going to ditch my hand and hopefully pull something better. I get a Sunkern and a Sunflora, so that'll be nice next turn, since I'll be able to evolve Sunflora and then start looking for grass Pokemon for free. I'm going to go ahead and add another energy to Mew, and now I'm going to use Pidgeot's attack, Headwind. And while Headwind only does 20 damage, it also causes the opponent to pay 2 extra energy for any attack that they want to use. So I decide that that's probably the way to go, because it's going to mean that in order for him to attack me next turn, he's going to have to attach 4 energies to Blastoise. And even with Floatzel, there's no way he's going to be able to do that. So he puts 1 down. He's going to use the Pokepower, I believe, to put another one on Floatzel here in a minute after he thinks about it. Yeah, so there goes another one on Floatzel. He's going to move that to Blastoise. But then when he goes to attack, he realizes that instead of 4, it now costs 6 energies to use Hydro Cannon, and he's not going to be able to do that. So that 1 turn of being able to keep him from attacking is going to be huge, because now I'm going to be able to play Sunflora and use Sunflora's Pokepower to search my deck for any grass type that I want and add it to my hand. So I'm going to get Roserade, and then I'm going to be able to evolve Roselia into Roserade, and also be able to use Roserade Pokepower to add a special condition to Blastoise, which means he won't be able to use his Pokepower. So I put a Psychic Energy on, that's going to poison him, And now he's going to take 10 damage between each turn, and because he's affected by a special condition, he can't use his Poke Power to pull more energy to himself, and so that means that even if he has 2 energies to pay the attack cost, he can't use it because he can't use his Poke Power. So instead, he's going to decide to retreat, which is great for me because it cost him 3 energy to do that. So that's 3 energy gone. And he's going to send out Cleffa, Eek, look for a new hand, and try to stall me with Sleep. So that was a fairly good play. Luckily, I have the ability to Sludge Drag. So first, I'm going to use Sunflora to get my Yanma. And since I have the Yanmega Prime in my hand, I'll be able to get him next turn. Yanmega was the new addition to this deck. It was pretty expensive to get, but absolutely worth it. You'll see here in a couple of turns, Yanmega and Mew just make an awesome combo. Both of them have free retreat cost and a lot of versatility, and so they really partner well together. I don't want to mess with Cleffa. I want Blastoise back out here, and I want special conditions on it. So I drag him back out, hit him with Confusion and Poison again so that he can't use his ability. And now he's basically just trapped there because he also doesn't have enough energy to retreat. So he's really just a sitting duck out there. I can take my time, and as long as he doesn't get a whole lot of energy on him, I can take him out before he gets to use another one of those powerful attacks. So my opponent's going to add another energy this turn, and he's also going to put one on Float Cell, but since Blastoise is confused, he can't reattach it, which is great because now Blastoise is just going to have to sit out there and do nothing. So I guess here he's thinking about what he wants to do or what he can do. He really can't. He's kind of stuck, so he's going to Juniper, ditch the hand that he has, draw 7 more cards. And his deck's starting to look pretty slim right now. He's ditched his hand quite a bit. Most of them have been shuffled back in, but that's the 2nd or 3rd time he's used Juniper, so he's burning through his deck pretty fast. He's going to put down another Buizel, which isn't really an issue at this point because his main threat is Blastoise, and as long as I can take that out, I'm not worried about the bench guys, because like mine, most of the guys on his bench are just there for his support to try and help out his main attackers. So taking out this Blastoise is going to really cripple him, and probably he won't have enough time to get another one up. So I'm going to use my Poke Power, grab a Gloom just because I can, and evolve Yanma into Yanmega Prime. And I believe after I evolve Gloom here, I'm going to switch Mew out. I'm going to retreat Mew now. Okay, I retreat. Since he has a free retreat cost, I go ahead and retreat. I don't play Gloom for whatever reason. I'm just going to go right for an attack, and rather than take out the Blastoise, I'm going to snipe the Cleffa on his bench with linear attack, just because I can. Like, Blastoise isn't a threat. It's stuck out there. It's poisoned and confused. He can try to attack me if he wants, but I'm not too worried about it. Like, no matter what he takes out, I still have an answer to Blastoise, and once it's gone, I should be able to run through the rest of his deck. And without Cleffa, he can't refresh his hand whenever he wants, so that's going to keep him stuck with the cards he has. Of course, unless he has Professor Oak or something else, which he does. So he gets another hand refresh, and he's going to think about what he wants to do here. I don't remember what he does. I think he tries to attack me next. After he's going to think about it for a long time. I probably should have cut this out. Sorry guys, I must have missed it. But anyhow, you can see what an effective pair Yanmega and Mew are, since they both have free retreat costs and both can attack for very little energy. They have a great synergy. They're able to switch in and out of each other and really do whatever you need them to do. Yanmega dealing lots of damage and Mew keeping the momentum in your side. So he finally puts down an energy on his new Floatzel as well as his old. He retreats Blastoise again, so he burns 3 more energy cards, and then sends out Basculin, which is fine with me. Basculin can't do anything, and I have a free retreat, so I can just retreat back to the bench, drag him in with a Mew, or I can snipe him with a linear attack, which I believe is what I'm going to do on my next turn. So I pick up a Copycat. That's not going to help me a whole lot. Go ahead and evolve Gloom. put grass energy onto Rose Raid so that I can confuse Basculin. I'm not planning to attack it. I just want it out there, like stuck in his active position, because as long as it's stuck there, I can just use Yanma to pick off the members of his bench one by one, starting with that Blastoise. It does have enough damage now that, yeah, I'm going to check. It does have just enough damage that a linear attack is going to take it out, so that's perfect. I'm able to hit it on the bench for 40 damage, take it out, and now his main threat is gone. He's only got his supporters left. He does have Golduck, but since he's burned so many energies retreating, its attack is not going to do a lot of damage. It does, I think, like 20 damage plus some more for every water energy he has in play, but he's wasted it all retreating, so Golduck can't do anything. Now he puts a Sigilyph down on the bench of all things. I don't really know what those do or why they were in his deck, but whatever. He puts those on the bench. They're not going to do anything either. And then he's going to refresh his hand again and add more energy to his Floatzel. So now that one does have enough energy to attack, but it can only do 60 damage, which means it will be at best a 2-hit KO. He can't play any plus powers, anything like that, thanks to Trainer Lock. So even if he brings it in and hits me, I'm going to be able to hit him back and then take him out the next turn. So I'm going to go ahead and pull my third Vileplume here, just because I can. I don't really need it. I'm fully set up at this point. So I'm looking at his hand. I can't match his hand size of 4. So I believe I'm going to retreat Yanmega back, since unless we have the same hand size, he does have to pay for his attacks. Which, I don't know if I mentioned that before, but Yanmega's Pokebody, as long as I have the same amount of cards in my hand as my opponent, Yanmega doesn't have to pay any energy to attack. So that's why I've been able to attack for free these last couple of turns. I apologize for not explaining that earlier. I just kind of took for granted that you guys knew what it did, but I know some of you probably don't. So yeah, that is a great card because you can attack for 70 damage and snipe the bench for no energy. So I'm going to see off. I thought I had a Jumpluff in my deck, but it turns out it's in my prizes, so I end up just sending on Oddish because, I mean, I had to send something. So I won't have access to Jumpluff. Jumpluff's attacks this match, which would have been handy, especially since we both have full benches. That would have done 120 damage. But now I'm going to just add another energy to Rose Raid, so that I'll be able to attack with it if I need to. I don't expect that I will, but I don't need to put that energy anywhere else. So I go ahead and power up Rose Raid with it. And now I'm going to Sludge Drag, pull Sigilyph in, just so I can get it poisoned and confused, as opposed to just confused like Basculin was. And I'm basically just waiting until I can match hand sizes with him again, so that I can switch back to Yanmega and fire off a 70 damage Supersonic. So he's going to draw a card. That's going to put him at 6. And depending on what he does here, I might be able to match him the next turn. So he's just going to pass, and I draw an energy, which is fantastic because it means I'll be able to play an energy, go down to 6 cards. You can see me counting the cards there with my mouse. We're at the same hand size now, so that means that I can attack for free with Yanmega, and I have a free retreat with Mew. So I pull Mew back, send out Yanmega, and I'm going to go for the linear attack and hit one of his Floatzels, since they're the ones that have all the energy. There's really no need for me to knock out that Sigilyph. It's doing more good for me than harm because it's stuck out there. Like, if he wants to get it gone, he's going to have to retreat, but instead he just realizes there's no way he can win. He forfeits the match, and that's going to be my game. So that was a good game. It really got to show off the effectiveness of this deck. So I'm glad to see that you guys enjoyed this match. And actually that brings us to a little bit of business I wanted to talk about. It is actually much, much easier for me to record TCGO battles thanks to the random matchmaking with the Wi-Fi battles. I can only friend code battle, and since I'm in Korea, finding opponents is really tough, especially during the week. So what I'm looking at doing right now is maybe bumping my upload schedule to about 3 per week. You can look forward to maybe 2 or 3 videos a week, depending on what I have time for, since I do have the full-time teaching job, I might not always be able to get 3 videos up, but I'm thinking I might be able to do that. And what it would be one Wi-Fi battle, most likely posted on the weekend, and then 1 or 2 TCGO matches that I can put up during the week. Since I can play TCGO, I can get 5 or 10 games in every night, and I usually get 1 or 2 good ones there. So I have a lot more material for TCGO than I do for Wi-Fi battles, and also TCGO isn't as well known yet, so I feel like I kind of have the chance to get in just as this is starting to become popular. Wi-Fi battles already pretty well established, so anyhow, that's what I'm thinking. Stay tuned, guys. I'll have more coming your way shortly. Thanks.